Here's a statistic that jumped out to me in the piece that you wrote. The pace of weapons testing is speeding up. Kim Jong-un has already launched nearly 100 more missiles than his father and grandfather combined.
Right, and he's done 4 of the 6 nuclear tests and has really diversified and strengthened his nuclear and missile program.
So when the United States says the goal here is denuclearization, is that a rational goal? Is that an achievable goal?
I don't think anybody is comfortable with North Korea having any nuclear weapons, so I think it has to be a goal.
Okay. And yet, as you wrote in your piece, and we've discussed on this program before, not just in North Korea, but let's take that as the most important current example. They look at what happened in Libya. They look at what happened in Ukraine, 2 nations that gave up nuclear weapons stockpiles and then saw themselves overrun or invaded, or a combination of the two. How much do you think that affects the calculus of Kim Jong-un and the regime?
So I'll point out a couple of things, Major. One is that, yes, the regime constantly brings up Iraq and Libya as examples about why they would not give up nuclear weapons. And I'll point to the Libya example, right? When Gaddafi was dragged from the street and sodomized and pummeled and beaten, so that was in October of 2011 when Kim was just about to come to power, 2 months before Kim Jong-il's death. So I can't imagine that those images of Gaddafi being beaten by his own people hasn't been seared into his
One
brain.
of the longest rulers in the continent of Africa.
Right, and he was supposed to be the king of kings in Africa, right? But for Kim, and I think that in second point is that the locked and loaded and all this blustery threats against North Korea.
My nuclear button is bigger and stronger, et cetera.
Right. I think that just reinforces for Kim and for his regime and for the North Korean people why they need nuclear weapons.